Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're playing Awaken Chaos Era as per usual. Also, you should buy some merch. The mice, it's pretty cool. Link in the description, Incredible J with all capitals in the checkout and you will get 10% off. But yeah, without any further ado, let's play the game. So since last time, a lot of stuff has happened on the account. So I should just say that the arena rank is pretty good, 313, that's Donald Duck's number. A lot, like arena has been done quite a substantial amount. Also, grinding has happened quite a bit. So as you can see, there is a lot of fodder going around. And tomorrow there will be a summoning event. So expect maybe a video tomorrow where we do some summoning. So currently we have 33 shards. And hopefully we will get some of the champions I'm going to talk about today. Because if you see the thumbnail, I would like to talk about the S tier champions on the Awaken Chaos Era tier list, which will also be linked in the description. Obviously there are S tier champions, which is under the category untested or not enough testing. But yeah, we will be looking at the champions which is actually on the list right now, which has been properly tested enough. And yeah, I figured I've been doing some grinding every now and again here, and I want to try and do a little bit of a different kind of video for this game, because this game is absolutely incredible. It's so much better than Raid Shadow Legends. Sorry, Raid Shadow Legends. The first champion we will look at is the only S+ tier champion on the list, and with good reason. So we'll be looking at her skills. And yeah, I think that's about it. So she is a very healthy person. S health is pretty cool. A defense beyond the rest. So she's a very healthy champion, but her skills is kind of what makes her like absolutely insane. So I think we'll start from the aura until yeah, I think we'll start from the left to the right. So this is for the ascension effects we'll look. Grants defense up and attack up to all team members for 3 rounds at the start of the battle, and it's unremovable, so you get 20% attack and 20% defense at the start of the battle. And what's interesting to note is that I think that Windtrex actually does give 30% attack, so you do get 10% less attack, but just know that it's a passive and it happens and it's unremovable. So even though it's not 30% like the ordinary buff, it's pretty insane still, and it gives attack up and defense up at start of the battle, and it's even unremovable. Like, what even is that? That's crazy. And then we have her basic attack, which deals 80% damage to an enemy and removes one of their positive effects. So she's just stripping buffs every time she does her A1. And then we have her special attack, which deals 100% damage to an enemy and applies defense down 2, which decreases the enemy defense by 50%. So this is absolutely insane, especially against bosses. This champion is absolutely nuts. And then you have her ultimate skill, which is ridiculous. This is like, what even is this? What even is this? Deals 100% damage to all enemies and grants a bonus turn to all allies at the end of the round. So she not only does damage to all enemies, she also grants all the allies an additional turn. And it's on a 4-turn cooldown, unless that's 5. I don't know, maybe it's a 5-turn, originally a 6-turn. No, I think it's just a 4-turn, right? I don't know. Anyway, that's insane. So if you get her, your account is very valuable if you want to sell it. If you don't want to sell it, then you're pretty good. She's pretty cool. I think I heard a rumor that she, before like the updates and stuff, she made your entire team go first. But I don't think that counts, unless you obviously build her in just a frick ton of speed and make her do her ultimate skill. But yeah, I don't think that, maybe there was some changes along the way, I'm not sure. So I've decided to just do all the light and dark champions included, which is not even tiered. because I figured why not. Light and Dark champions usually pretty good. So we'll just take a little bit of a quicker look at the ones not specifically on the list of being an S tier. So here we have Niklaus, and I think this may be kind of what I was talking about earlier, except yeah, maybe I don't know. He's not like he wouldn't make the entire team go first, but he will indeed go first. At the start of every round, grants his character the speed of the fastest ally. And then we have this one, deals damage to an enemy if the health is below 50% after the attack. Grants a bonus attack on all enemies which deals 50% damage. Then we have, he just becomes immune to that for 2 turns. Health cannot drop below 1. And deals damage to all enemies and enhances the stats of a random ally by 100% of the caster's attack. Cooldown 1 turns. Wait, cooldown 1 turns? Cooldown 1 turns. What do you mean by that? Anyway, yeah, I figured why not just highlight the Light and Dark champions, which is not even, maybe they're not tested, maybe not enough people has happened, or maybe not enough people have had them. Darkened Niklaus is doing, when this character's health falls below 50%, enters a dark avatar state, swapping basic and ult. What? So his ultimate will be his basic. Replace a spell, and it's unremovable. So if he's below 50% health, he'll just do his ultimate all the time. Enters the dark avatar, swaps the basic and ultimate, and grants shields for 1 turn. Can be triggered once every 2 turns. Okay, this already seems pretty nuts. What's his basic? Deals damage to an enemy, damage scales with the amount of health at the loss of this champion. I'm really interested now in seeing, yeah, also immunity. 4 stacks, 1 stack is removed, can be triggered up to 6 once per 6 rounds. Yeah, what is this? Deals damage. Deals 150% damage to 2 enemies and applies unhealable. Damage scales with a health lost. Okay, so this will just be his basic skill if he's low health. He said he's an S tier on attack and an A tier on crit rate. Pretty nuts. Then currently Marion Shadowblood is also an S tier, which is very interesting to me because I haven't had a lot of... Like, I've used her, as you guys remember from my earlier episodes. I think. Yeah, right. I used her a little bit. She didn't really seem too good to me, to be honest. But essentially, every time a character does damage, she has a chance to... she has a chance to just join in on attacking. But, like, removes all negative effects. That's just to her. Damage to all enemies. 50% damage reduction and 40% life steal. I mean, she can probably be good. But in general, like, I haven't had too much. I guess I haven't used her in the end game. Did I even make mine 6 stars? I may have. Oh, I don't. Yeah. My memory, like, I haven't focused on her, so it's like, yeah. Maybe she can be good if she has like a ton of crit rate, crit damage, and attack, and maybe, yeah, speed. But yeah, she doesn't seem like too much of an S tier to me. But maybe the list is not updated, or maybe it's just, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to add her in because she's S tier on the list. We have Cyrus, which can actually be synthesized. Like, I think I may or may not have the champions for it soon. Like, by just yeah, maybe she can be obtained soon. She is an S on speed. Her speed is pretty nuts once she's fully ascended. So let's look a little bit at her stats. Every 1 round, this character's abilities attack 1 extra target at the end of the turn, which is pretty insane. And then we have deals 100% damage to an enemy and grants defense pierce up for this champion for 1 turn, which just pierces defense. Then we have deals 150% damage to an enemy for every enemy hit. Grants 1 stack of ability immunity. Grants immunity for the next negative effect taken. Okay. And then we have her ultimate. Grants attack up for 2 turns. Then deals 200% damage to an enemy. So I think she can just execute. I think she can just destroy people. Like, I really think she can, like, single target focus. Like, if she is the quickest one, and she's an S0 in speed, or if your speed booster is quicker than the enemy speed booster, Windstrikes, And your Cyrus is then quicker than, yeah, like if she goes, she can just nuke the enemy speed booster and your entire team will go first. Seems pretty good to me, to be honest. Then we have Tia, which can actually also be obtained from Fusion, I think. So she's an ultimate freezing girl. Applies Frostbite 2 to an enemy for 2 turns. At the end of the enemy's turn, at 4 stacks, applies Frozen for 1 turn. So Frozen just unable to act and takes 50% more damage from all sources. Attacks on the target have a 50% chance to remove this effect. Then you also have minus 20% speed. At 4 stacks, applies Frozen. Then you have this one just applying Frostbite to an enemy. Then you have this one, deals 150% damage to an enemy, then applies 2 stacks of Frostbite. And then you have deals damage to all enemies, has a pretty high chance of doing Frozen, and chances increased by 80% if increased to 80% if the person has Frostbite. Okay, so she's just an ultimate crowd control champion. And I also saw a dark champion here, Imogen. So we'll kind of look at Imogen as well, even though she's not on the list. So Imogen does grants 1 stack of Moon Knight at the start of one turn. Of the turn, if this character is below 50% health, grants 3 stacks of Moon Knight. Can only be triggered once per wave of battle. Moon Knight. Each stack allows this character to ignore 2% of enemy defense, max 20%. Heals 3% of max health per Moon Knight obtained. And then deals 100% damage to an enemy with 50% chance to grant 1 stack of Moon Knight. If this ability lands a critical strike, there's a 100% chance to grant just grant her Moon Knight. And then deals, when an ally attacks, launches a joint attack that deals initial damage. This consumes 1 stack of Moon Knight. When an ally attacks, hits a critical strike, launches a joint attack. That deals the initial damage of 50%, which decreases with each bounce. This consumes 2 stacks of Moon Knight. What's her ultimate? Grants 2 stacks of Moon Knight to this character, then deals 120% damage to all enemies and removes 1 positive effect from each. If removal is successful, grants 1 extra stack of Moon Knight to this character. So yeah, she's all about the Moon Knight, Imogen. Yeah, makes sense. That's a very cool looking champion, to be honest. Then we have Satlux, and I think we're mostly familiar with this guy. But for you guys who is not, he just upon defeating an enemy resets all of the ability cooldowns, then grants attack up for 1 turn, which is absolutely insane because his ultimate skill is insane. Then it just deals damage to an enemy and gives himself speed for his attack 1. His attack 2 just gives crit rate. I didn't know that. I didn't know he gained so much crit rate from his passive. I have like 100% crit rate on mine. I need to decrease. I need to do stuff with mine. I didn't realize his passive. What have I done? Like, I have a 6-star crit rate. Okay. Well, this is me not reading the skills, apparently, on my own champions. Deals 200% damage to an enemy plus the bonus damage if your enemies remaining to bonus damage said. If this ability kills the target and just goes berserk and freaking hits everyone, he's insane. He's absolutely insane. I think that he's probably more powerful than... more powerful than Kiara. Am I wrong in saying that? No, Kiara is insane though. I guess Ivera. He could potentially replace my Ivera. Because he's absolutely insane. He really is. And I'd be interested in seeing... Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing what would happen. Now we're looking at Urion, which is another legendary light champion. A critical strikes by this character grants a shield worth of 50% of attack for 2 turns. Then you have deals 100% damage to an enemy with a chance to steal a positive effect. If this character has a positive effect when the attack ends, increases attack up for 1 turn. And by the way, we're done with the S on the tier list here on the website, which I'm saying here as you guys are seeing it, but you obviously are not. You can. You just click the link. Anyway, deals special. Deals 100% damage to an enemy with a chance to apply stun. And grants immune for 2 turns. It will not be affected. He will not be affected by any negative effects. And it's on a very low cooldown as well, so he has a chance of doing some stunning. And then deals 150% damage to all enemies with and grants 20% ignore defense. If this character is affected by immune, grants a bonus 30% ignore defense. That's pretty cool. I think he can do a lot of damage maybe. Then we have a crazed Urzog. Let's look at what he does. Grants 1 rage every time an ally uses an ability. Grants 1 rage every time a team member uses an ability. Grants a bonus turn at 5 rage and ignore defense to this character for 1 turn. 30% of defense ignored. Deals 80% damage to an enemy and places an increased damage taken, which is very cool. Then his special strikes all enemies 4 times, dealing 100% total damage. Each strike has a 30% chance to remove 1 positive effect. That's pretty cool. He can remove a lot of buffs. He's an S on attack as well. And then deals 50% damage to an enemy. Damage scales with enemies lost. With the enemy's lost health. That's insane though. I really like his special attack. It's like Kiara's special attack. Like she just shreds with that. She doesn't even need a turn to wipe people with her freaking attack tools. Her special attack. Then we have a dark corrupt Auroch, which does, at the start of the round, deals true damage equal to 5% of this character's max health to all enemies. At the start of the round, okay. If this character is below 50% health, deals true damage equal to 10% of max health. And he has an S on health, so if you have a lot of health on this guy, he will do a lot of damage. And true damage just ignores defense as well. Deals 50% damage to an enemy. Damage scales with character's max health. And then we have a special. Deals 100% damage to an enemy. Recovers 30% of damage to health and grants max health up, which increases his max health. And then we have deals removes all positive effects from an enemy, then deals 100% damage to them and applies silence for 2 turns. Damage scales with this character's max health. So the more health you have on this guy, the more insane he is. Then we have Abaddon, which is a dark legendary champion as well. So let's look at him. Attacks reduce all cooldowns by 1 turn per negative effect on the target. Attacks deal bonus damage based on the number of negative effects on the target. Then we have his attack 1, launches 4 attacks against random enemies, in each inflicting 30% damage and a random stats down for 2 turns. Man, does it just do debuffs to absolutely everyone? Is that how it works? It just attacks 4 attacks against random enemies. So it just does a lot of debuffs to everyone. Oh my god. And it's just random, so it could be insane. Deals 100% damage to all enemies while healing. Healing strength scales with the number of negative effects. Oh my god. Deals 250% damage to an enemy and prolongs any stat reduction effects on the target by 1 turn. Man, this guy seems insane. Like, I really like him. Oh my god, all the debuffs. Then we have Kiara. I just wanted to say, well, when the enemy's health is under 50%, deal damage to all enemies. Just absolutely insane. That's my hero. That's my High King. And that covers the heroes of today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. And again, the quality of this stuff is pretty high. Like, I've worn that sweater for way too long without washing it, because it was just so good to walk in and sit in. So yeah, check it out, link in the description. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a nice one, and bye bye.